will be some type of adventure exploration. You can take a glimpse at the map at the homepage at champions.io, and they've got an interactive map that shows you all the regions in Massina. There's an in-depth lore, so that's actually my favorite part of this game so far is how deep the storyline is. They've got so much character development, and the world is already so massive, and it's just a tiny glimpse so far. So good stuff so far.
Yeah, we actually discussed it on Elysium last time that one of the best aspect a game can actually have is a really good lore. And currently, Champion Ascension is delivering it. And they have a lot of events ongoing for all the players. And what is actually interesting with the Old Sally event was that the people who actually participated on it was not able to practice on this one. They actually had like literally an hour to figure things out right from the get-go. And there was a quest wherein the first guild who can actually slay the monster uh, bags in the prize. And we have a lot of participants, and we have also participants on our own guild YGG, and they managed to clear out Old Sally. And we're going to be inviting some of the people as well on the community to discuss more about the game later on. But for now, I guess yeah, maybe share some more thoughts about the game so far. Aside from the PVE aspect, there are going to be a PvP, wherein you can battle it out for like 5v5s, 3-on-3s, and 1-on-1. So, on esports, maybe what is like, what are the things that is going on your mind right now?
Maybe I could jump in. Like for esports, I think these is there are a lot of games coming out, but I think this is one of the very few that is already market ready. It's esports ready, it's market ready, and all we need is the players. All we need is the players, the guilds, to get pit up against each other, and just battle it out in the arena. And I think it's really fun to watch. I think, and it makes it a very very interesting game. Like imagine, like I'd love to see like my teammates just battle it out with another guild, even like come up with like crazy promos and bring in crowds and stuff, and even doing it on land. I mean, that's something else. So we haven't had this much excitement from the YGG community for an esports game, like aside from Maxi Infinity, right? Like there are very few. But this game definitely is something to watch out for on the big stage.
Yeah, Sedano. Just to expand on that, like you're talking about a potential LAN experience, right? And you touching on esports. There was recently the 3XP convention, right, in Texas. And that live event that everyone got to jump in for the first time and have to adapt, we had that 2 hour window. It was showcased there in a LAN setting for the first time with some of the most well-known creators and guilds. There were over 30 communities in the space, right? So YGG, we did our thing. Of course, some of the sub DAOs as well, IndieGG and some of our neighboring communities. But the point is, like you said, esports is already primed, and it's very entertaining as we've already seen. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, could you imagine them like filling up the actual gladiator arena and you have people watching you like come into the match?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Like even the branding, right? Like the original, the original vibe that the YGG brand had is like very in sync with what they're going for there. So it's pretty cool.
Bring glory to your house.
Yeah, one YGG branded character.
Yep.
Yeah, so far, I think we really don't have much details on how the player versus player aspect is going to be, but I really assume that it's going to be really awesome. Because from what I've seen with the Old Sally event, wow, it brings me a bit nostalgia on how boss raids should be done. Like this is something like you can do with your entire guild, like have a bigger boss. We have 5 players right for Alzadi. Imagine the entire guild ganging up on one really really big MVP, and you really need to be coordinated. That is really exciting for me as an MMO player.
Yeah, yeah. The game's fun, 100%. The game's definitely fun. I mean, like it's really pretty exciting, like to see how it turns out. Let's say in the next month, in the next 2-3 months, when there are more guilds just doing like 1v1s, 3v3s. But ideally, we were trying actually, like we have a quest for the guild advancement program. Specifically, we have quests specifically for Champions Ascension, right? Like we launched it off season. Season 3 just ended, but we launched the Champions Ascension quests like right away. So technically, we are in transition to the next season, but we already have ongoing quests that players who join the old Sally event and still those trying to beat those records can still join. So everyone at home, make sure to check out yieldguild.io/arcade and look for Champions Ascension there on one of the games, and you will be linked to the available quests. And yeah, I mean, like, who knows? First place actually was, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around 2,700 YGG tokens. I mean, that's in addition to what the Champions Ascension team and the other sponsored guilds are giving out, right? Like there are lots of different prizes, but one of those is actually an elemental. I'm sorry, is a champion, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was
that
a
was the
prime
first
elemental,
place.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and some cash too.
Yeah, they actually are able to bring a lot of cash in the bag right now, because on all the events that they are actually hosting, there are several prizes for each, and I think everyone it is up for grab for everyone who's actually invited. So it's a really good start. The gameplay is actually really good. Only sadly you can only play it on certain time slots, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah,
on the we're still on the beta phase. So eventually we will be able to get the most out of it.
yeah. Well, that was one of the interesting things, and we talked to their community manager and a few other people there, and that was one of the things they had wished they might have changed, but they had to line up with 3XP. There was the fact that was really catering to the Eastern zone, right? In terms of when they launched that world first. So even more impressive to see the Knights out there trying their best when it was like, I don't know, like 6 a.m. for you guys, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
shout out
up all
to the Knights who killed it, and all the other guilds that, or the sub guilds and the sub communities that represented the YGG flag, right? So shout out to the Guild House, shout out to the Aguila Guild, shout out to DGX, and yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Um, like, what do you guys think about, like, their strategy here in, just having the server open for a few hours, throughout the week? And I don't know, like, I haven't experienced this in any other game tests, but like for a Champions Ascension, like, it's pretty interesting, to be honest.
For
It's
okay, go.
no, so please take it away.
Sure. I just want to wait. For me, having like a limited time slot on the game when it opens actually gives you like a mission for that day to do. It actually gives you something to look forward to, and I think it is a good part on the developers end as well, because it actually entices the people to actually look forward to playing the game rather than having it online 24/7. Imagine taking note, having an alarm like Champions Session open at this hour. You guys, all your friends on the guild are going to wake up at the same exact hour, going to play until the server closes, and after that, you're going to be theory crafting a lot of things afterwards. It actually gives me a more competitive aspect of the start, and it actually holds back on people who are going to actually grind it 24/7. Right, and you can actually still do the theory crafting part while playing the part afterwards and experimenting on your theories.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I can weigh in a little bit on their approach as to why they've got it in sessions, but it definitely takes some planning for sure, and that's a fun aspect, getting organized with your squads and all that fun stuff. But the reason they took the approach is because they're basically stress testing their servers, right? They have limited time windows, so they can have a certain amount of players get in there and see how it basically plays and how the servers hold up. And Fallen, like when we were playing, we did have a few teammates that were having issues, right? So it's still in the early stage. and they still got to get these kinks worked out before we have a seamless experience for everyone, right? So
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're
and
getting there.
we were feeling that burn there. Like our final two runs, and we just beasted it. We're like in the
Yeah,
last 10-15 minutes, and we're like, oh no, we're not gonna clear this before the server closes. And then we just got everything together there, and we did twice in a row, no problem. We could have probably done it a
yeah.
third too.
We were sweating, honestly, but in the beginning, we were like taking our time, feeling it out, getting everybody like in the routine, and then once we all figured it out, those last two runs in that 15-minute window, we all went silent. There was literally no communication. Everyone was 100% focused, not trying to get hit by an orb, not trying to get bit. It was just let's kill Sally, and we did, and it was a great time.
If you were going to gauge it, how difficult it was, especially given the limited time that you have to try it, like on the first try, how difficult was it? Like you really didn't know any mechanics right about Old Sally. How were you guys able to figure it out? What were the strategy ongoing, and maybe how many tries did you guys take all in all?
Ooh, on that first day, we were really hindered by the fact that we didn't have a team. We were trying to grab people every which way. So we barely got any time to actually fight Sally. I think ACLs on that first day, right?
Yeah,
That
I
was a
think
little
on the
bit of
first day, we just like we had random folks from the community. We're all just getting together, trying to give it a shot, and you and I were able to feel it out a bit and get a little comfortable, right? And then the next day, we were kind of ready to just go in and get it done. So, yeah.
Yeah, it really takes me back to those old World of Warcraft days when you're doing the raid bosses before YouTube was like even around. So there was no such thing as guides. It was like FAQs on websites, but like if you go for world first, you're wiping on one boss. I think when we did Wrath of the Lich King, when that dungeon endgame dungeon came out, the first boss I remember wiping for 6 hours straight with my guild, going for the world first there, and that was like common, right? For all guilds there. Old Sally didn't take quite as long. The mechanics weren't as big. Again, it's a 5-person raid versus 30-person raid, but that kind of enjoyment and awe was still there, right? You have to figure out every mechanic down to a T, and we were kind of figuring that out the first day, but the second day we had a little bit of help since we had the community manager there, and I think he had some leaks on what the details were. But like you could tell that the knights and a lot of the wardens and their other teams, right? Again, and that's the thing. The world first was taken by their in-house guilds, right? Wardens and Wardens 2 are their in-house ones. So the fact that Knights was so close in the race against one of their in-house ones, which come on, they had to have had leaks or something, right? Was that close was really impressive, because I know they were showcased on the Twitch stream. They probably, I'm not sure if they know, but the 3XP Twitch stream, Knights was actually shown in contender there because their developer had the list of who was doing really well, right? And they could go in and spectate. And I remember the Wardens were in the first place. They got them down to 2%. And then she just wiped the whole team, and he's like, okay, let's go see who else is doing it. And they pulled up Knights, and Knights was in the first place running there for a bit, and they're like,
Nice.
is the YGG team gonna do it? And I'm like, yes, here we go. And then same thing, Sally just wiped it there. And I do know they were having a little bit of issues with servers too. Like there was some points where the lag would just spike up, and I think that was part of the stress testing. So who knows, maybe that played a part in the world first there as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I myself, I've been having issues since I started playing the game. Like hopping on the open world, right? So it's definitely a bit more laggy than when you're in game. I mean, when you're in game, I get around maybe like 90 to 150 ping. But in the open world, it's you're getting like even like frame drops, like split second, delays. But yeah, there's a lot to improve on the latency side. But I think those are growing pains that any other startup project in the Web3 space, gaming space, encounters. And it also has a lot to do with which regions do you prioritize first, right? Like, do you build out your servers in Southeast Asia, because you have more players there. You do it in the U.S. So like there are lots of moving pieces. But yeah, I agree with you guys. Props to Champions Ascension for some sort of gamifying, the testing process, and it's really, really interesting. I mean, despite that, the Wardens finished the game with 4 players. It was a 4 stack, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. Yep.
That was crazy. Yeah, shout out to Wardens, like JJ, Renono, FTS, FD Smog, Garlic, and Zap. And yeah, I mean all the other guilds who are still in the process of trying to beat that, you know, um, the record time. So cheers, congrats, shout out to everyone who who joined, and we're looking forward to joining you guys next time. I'm gonna be playing next time. I'm gonna be joining your squad, Fallen and ACLs as soon as I figure out
Let's
my
do it.
the latency situation.
We need more
But
teeth.
yeah, I'd be happy to be playing for your team, guys. I mean, so speaking of gameplay, we actually have guests that we want to bring on stage from the Marshals team, who have been taking a closer look at the more competitive side of the game, looking into the metas, like some tips and tricks that they maybe could share with us. So yep, I'm calling on stage the guys. We have Nocturnal, we have Bibs, and who else do we have? Senpu.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Oh, let's go.
GM.
Shout out Bibs, our sub there, our 6 a.m. sub.
Let's go, Kuya Bibs.
Yep. So GM guys. Sadly, Nocturnal won't be able to join us because of some technical issues. But yeah, don't worry, we're still here. Bibs and I are still here.
He's with us in spirit.
Yeah. So yeah, let me just share the screen. Right. So yeah, Bibs, take it away.
Alright, so let me just explain the gameplay overview or the PvP guide for Champions Ascension. So we actually have 3 tips for beginners or some new players who wants to play the game. So first is to know the combos of all the champions in order to maximize the damage. So it's just saying that we need to be familiarized to the champions that you use and your enemies using. So how to do that? You need to play the game or every champion in order to know what are the combos on the champion, on specific champion. So second is to know when to dodge the enemy attacks and then its attack. So the second tip is just saying that we need to maximize our skills or our dodge skills in order to counter our enemy attacks. And yeah, so for the last one is the combo, or each champion has a combo pattern that appears on the right screen and 4 skills to use on the lower right of the screen. So when you play the game, you need to familiarize first, right? So when you familiarize on the game, you will actually have some combos in your mind, and when you execute it properly, you have a higher chance to win the game. All right. So and on the PVE side, so Sir No ACL and Sir Fallen, we just had a 2 consecutive wins on Old Sally, right? And it's really hard to beat actually. But with the power of teamwork and coordination, yeah, we beat Old Sally. I remember when Sir Fallen's comes where he always said, "Don't get beat, don't get beat." and, and luckily we survived that. So shout out to the devs who works hard for that. And yeah, looking for more actions in the game. So back to you, Senpu.
So yeah, before we move forward, I just want to shout out the YGG Knights because all of we couldn't
Let's
done this
go.
information or we couldn't get this data without them. So we
Nice, nice.
personally asked them, right, for the data, because yeah, we knew that they're out of all the teams here in the YGG community, they're the ones, I think, who research about it and studied it the most, right? So yeah, let's move forward. So what are the champions that you need to look out for, especially for beginners? This is picked personally by the YGG Knights, yeah, because before Old Sally, they started playing already and trying out the champions. Right. So first one is the Keymaster. So personally, this one is my favorite because this she deals damage as well as defense. Right. So her tail ability is a shield that can block multiple attacks, and her passive gives her the ability to block attacks and at the same time move, which is a huge advantage when it comes to PvP. Not to mention the Fury of Titans or her ultimate, which is a long range, as you can see on the screen. Uh, you can engage and disengage and yeah, attack your opponent from long range. And one tip that I got from the knights is you can use the Keymaster's block skill to absorb the orbs when battling Old Sally. So yeah, just um, just a little tip from the YGG Knights. So next time,
5K Masters.
yeah. So
That's
next
some
time,
meta alpha right there.
yes, we are leaking alpha. We are leaking metas here right now, guys. So better listen. Right. So next
Good stuff.
is the Whisperer. So Whisperer is like an all-around fighter because of his stats. So the speed, strength, and HP are very well-rounded or very perfect for beginners. So usually, if you want to try out the game, you can first try out with the Whisperer. However, the cons of this champion is that he doesn't have any long range attacks, so mostly melee attacks. So you have to watch out for um, the long range attack of the different champions. But in spite of that, um, Whisperer has three dodge skills, so you can use that to your advantage to close the gap between you and your opponent. Right. So moving on. So the EOS, or also known as the glass cannon or the mage,
Glass balls.
yeah, that's yeah. We definitely were surprised with the names of these two champions, like, but we call them LOB for short and
Lots of
HB.
balls.
Yeah.
Yes.
So AOS is a highly powerful when it comes to damage output, since she can deal long range and she can close the gap with her opponents because of her skill, which she teleports directly to your opponent, right? And also watch out for her HP, since, right, as I've said earlier, she is a glass cannon, meaning she deals a lot of damage, but she has little HP. So yeah, be careful, especially when fighting Old Sally, because the poison can shred her HP immediately. Right.
Yeah.
So
She was my favorite.
yeah. So next and the last, but not the least, is Ilgra. So he is the tankiest champion of them all. So if you want a champion that requires little to no strategy, you can use him because it's like a no-brainer champion. You can just use heavy attacks and spank your opponents. Yeah, and he can defeat the enemy by just face tanking it. And yeah, as you can see, his ultimate is very annoying, right? Especially the damage of that depends on how little your HP has. So yeah, if you have a little HP, you can use that and regain your advantage and try to outplay your opponents. So yeah, there you have it with the gameplay overview, the PvP tutorials, and what champions to look out for. Sir Sil, Sir Sedano, Sir Noisil, and Sir Fallen, what do you guys think? Do you have any favorite champions that you want to share with us?
I think Zenpo, you're really great at this game. You seem to know a
Nah.
lot about the game, and thank you so much for the overview on the game. I think I'll be taking the tank, so I think Ilgra is probably my go-to hero in this one.
Nice. You got to be careful with those tanky close range heroes because when you do the raid, if you get bit once while you're poisoned, like she heals 30%, so it could be problematic, you know. I like the AOS character where you can keep your range and you got good mobility and yeah, it's a little less risky.
Yeah, I don't have too much PvP experience, but for the raid, it was all AOS. Like that was the go-to strat. Keep your distance, go there, and one keymaster. We have one keymaster to clear the orbs.
Keymaster.
Maybe one thing that I think is also really important with the current metas is I think we mentioned it at the start of the presentation, where you have to take note of the families, the classes, the skills, because there's also this rock paper scissors type of mechanic in the game, right? Senpu or Bibs, you guys have more information in that?
Yeah, I can add a little context there. I know a little bit
Go ahead.
about it. I know that there's like different essence types. So the best comparison I could use that everyone knows is like Pokemon. You know how there's element types. So you've got essences where, for example, there's the air, earth, water, fire. There's a few different types. And then on top of that, you've got classes, just like how in Pokemon you have the types of beasts, you know, like dragon and so on, right? You've got classes here. You've got demons, you've got beasts, you've got humanoids, and then there's a few other ones, I think undead. And then on top of that, you know how we have the elementals, which are essentially the god characters in this game. You've got the prime eternals, then you've got the eternals, the gladiators, the challengers. So it starts from the top going to the bottom. You can start at the bottom and work your way in the game as they roll out, you know, more features and kind of earn things in the game to evolve and progress towards gladiator, eternal, prime eternal. So that's a little bit about it, but yeah, we gotta see what they give us as they roll it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe one question would be like when we do 1v1s, right? When you go into PvP, the suggestion of one of the community leads of champions is always go for random, just because you get to know more about the different characters, the different skills. Yeah, how does it work? Like, let's say when you're going up against someone else and you get the weakness of what your opponent gets. Like, how does that work? Like, what would be a good strategy there?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't think it's a make or break. Like again, you can definitely, if you're better skilled, that weakness isn't gonna. I think it's a very slight edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. So
Comes down to the
every
skill for
champion
sure.
is actually not a pure type of champion, you know. For example, an Aeos is not actually a pure arcane. Every parts of it is composed of different families. Some of the tales of an Aeos consist of life or death, and then her mouth is composed of arcane. So it's basically not just a pure type of essence or a family. So basically every champion has an advantage and disadvantages.
sorry,
True.
sorry for that dead air. I think everyone was busy
We're just
typing woof
absorbing
woof.
the knowledge.
I'm sorry. Woof
Yeah,
woof.
the Fenrir was barking.
Yeah, the Fenrir was barking.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
against
guys.
Old
My
Sally.
finger was working.
Nice. Great insights, though, for sure.
Maybe one thing, like that's still a question mark for me here is, um, where does the reward, or where do the rewards come in? Maybe that's something. If you guys, do you guys have any information on that?
Rewards.
Yeah, like let's
So
say, oh, go ahead, DCLs.
yeah, there's like several layers of rewards. Right now, they've introduced a few different varieties we can participate in. Like the current one everyone's focused on is Old Sally, right? So just to bring up the YGG gap, right? There's two quests here where remaining, like the world's first is already tackled, so that's off the board. But you've got the one where defeating Sally unscathed. So if you go in with a 5-man squad and you beat Sally, nobody dies. That's a YGG quest you can complete. And then the other one is to win 10 3v3 matches in the PvP mode. That's a YGG quest. So that's outside of the game, but just wanted to highlight those so you can, get in there for those who are watching. And then within the game itself, as you beat Sally and you obtain these fangs at the end of the victory, you can go in and continue to play in these sessions, stack up these fangs, and Champions intends to release different things that you can purchase in the game with the fangs. Possibly a new character that might be introduced into the game. They were teasing that. So that's one thing there. And then as far as the game progresses, there's going to be various aspects. Like you'll be able to have land, you'll be able to earn different things within mini games in the open world and through social activities. There's going to be different things like companion activities as well when the pets drop and they introduce new modes there. So everything will go towards the in-game marketplaces within the social hub. So you'll be able to maybe purchase weapons, purchase new parts for your heroes, and so on as the game evolves. Right now, there's not too much going on reward-wise, but you can earn the tickets and the fangs, and they will later be redeemable for whatever the team introduces as rewards very soon.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, this is what Inoue Sales has been mentioning. So, this is the off-season GAP quest for Champions Ascension. So, as you can see, we have a big reward for the old Sally with 27 YGG, and the other quest with Arena Conquerors for 180 YGG, and old Sally again for another 180 YGG. So I think the first quest is about getting the first one to beat old Sally. Is this I'm not sure for the quest owner, but is this for YGG alone or for the entire server? Like the first one in the server or what?
So are you
So, I
asking? Are you asking if this is a server-wide reward or just for YGG?
Yeah, like you can get the 27 YGG if you were the first in the entire server, or if you can get it if you were the first in the entire YGG family.
If I'm not mistaken, as long as you're enrolled, you can get it, right? So that actually brings up everyone at home. Make sure that you guys, are on the YGG arcade. Make sure to mint those guild badges if you haven't. Because I mean, aside from all these really cool quests that we have for all the games that we love, there are also other features that comes with having those badges. Like specifically here in Champions, if you are on or if you have the YGG guild badge, like your guild actually appears in game. It's like right above your head. We're gonna be showing a clip later where it's pretty cool. You see all the players like battling it out in a dungeon, all with the YGG logos on top of their head. So it's pretty cool stuff to check out.
Awesome. So yeah, maybe what else can we actually discuss so far? We have actually tackled about the event Old Sally. We have discussed the classes that we can actually use for PvP. So maybe yeah, Sepu, what do you want to add?
Yeah, just I wanna add something when it comes to the rewards with Old Sally. Right. So if you notice, for those who have beaten Old Sally, that you got a like a tail, right? So it's a Krokamit tail. So you can swap that and buy a Krokamit egg, and when it hatches, you can get a Krokamit NFT, which is a pet for you, right? So it's a very good reward for players, right? So you can it's like a bragging rights that you have beaten Old Sally.
You were there.
And
Do you know how many teeth we need? Yeah,
this is an
I don't
event
think they
that is
released it.
limited, right, Senpu? So after these 2 weeks, you can't actually get it anymore.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's limited. And answering Sir Noisiel's question, um, we don't have any information of how much we need
So
to.
grind,
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
Go get those teeth. Get as many as you can.
Yeah, and we were told that won't be the only thing that you can spend teeth on. Like they do plan on having other items or things that you can use those teeth for. So the more you get, even if you have extra, they'll be used for something else.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so everyone at home, right? So we are going to be dropping the schedule in a few Fallen in here, and we'd like to invite everyone to join us throughout the week for a lot of other community events. We're going to be streaming the game on Discord together with members in the guild. If you guys want, to play some 1v1s, make sure to join us as well. And we are going to be joining all the open time slots when the server is live. So we're just going to be waiting for Champions Ascension's announcement for next week's schedules. And yeah, we're going to be hopping on there. But yeah, I mean, Fallen, how does next week look like?
Yeah, so next week, like I said, people can generally get used to that schedule that we just posted there. That's the general schedule that we have. Obviously, we'll have kind of a poster with this too, so don't worry about like saving that. And we're going to be trying to make the events within Discord as well, so that it automatically goes to your time zone. That being said, depending on when Champions opens the servers, we might reschedule some of these to line up with it. It's great that we can talk about the game. It's another thing to actually showcase gameplay and play it with the community, right? So again, these are our tentative times. Does not mean these are set in stone. Besides the wrap up, the wrap up is 100% set in stone. And I'm pretty sure for like Game Hunters and Maze Ladies for Gaming, I don't think those will switch, but you never know, right? So these are more placeholders. Depending on when Champions is gonna actually open up their servers, we might change this up.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to be playing as well Champions Ascension this time around. My PC is actually broken the last time it was open, and I really missed out a lot of fun there. And I hope to see you guys there. Maybe we can do like a community unofficial stream. The entire server is open. Like just hop on a voice chat and help each other out on how to beat Sad and such. So yeah, guys, any last few words before we actually officially wrap up this AMA?
Yeah, we might, depending on when the servers are open, we were kind of floating the idea of a little in-house community tournament. So we'll see what happens. Again, fingers crossed. I might put up some YGG myself just to get the people going. Who knows?
Let's do it.
Nice. We should show some of the highlights of us battling Sally and all that before we wrap it up. Like
Yes,
Sedano
definitely. We have
the
that
guild highlights
prepared.
and all
Let's
those.
go, Senpu, and let's show the greatness.
Let's do
The
it.
greatness.
I know it would be hard to lose.
That was tough.
Good job, guys.
Let's go! Fight!
Just in heal, we still got plenty of time. Plenty of room to work with. God damn it. Alright, I've cleaned it out. You can go get that one. Nice. Alright, good game, guys. Good job, guys.
Let's go,
GG.
Bibs. Bibs slayed Sally.
I think that was the part when Noisels mentioned everyone just got silent. Like I was literally watching people. And
There
the
was no
silence
chatting.
there.
We were just focused. GG's. I can only imagine the records, like the fastest time and the world's first, like how their groups were. It's intense.
Did they actually release the lineup that the fastest team used?
All lots of balls. Oh,
Yeah.
for the fastest team, that was the world first. Was all lots of balls. I don't know about the fastest team.
I think
Key
the
master
team
might
is
be-
the same with the fastest. Lots of balls.
Lots of balls. Definitely lots of balls for that one.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good
That
time.
was the go-to strat.
Yeah, and I think no one was using a melee character, right, for this raid because like Noise also mentioned, one of the skill that Old Sally has is like a life steal, and it will beat you and it will regenerate 30%. So everyone was just kiting around the Old Sally, and apparently it works. You need to just wear down the old crocodile. So yeah, that was interesting, and I'm really excited to be playing the game as well. Maybe this week, and I hope the game developers actually release a schedule right now, so I can schedule my alarms right away and go on and hop onto the game and be with the knights and ask them to boost me up and teach me a few things or more. So knights, shout out to you guys. You guys are really good, and you guys made me proud and made the entire YGG family proud. And yeah, definitely it is going to be an exciting week for everyone. Champions Ascension, one of the best games so far that we have on the game spotlight. And for the entire week, we have a lot of shows dedicated to this game alone. So we need to catch you guys there. And yeah, I think this is it for me. Any other closing remarks for the other guys here?
Yeah, we got the
good.
knights. We gotta showcase those knights.
Oh yeah. It was no ACL's lineup. Okay, let's do it. The Knights.
I was Fallen, Bibs, and myself. Now we got the knights, and we had the
Let's go.
CN from Champions.
To official
That was
Shout
awesome.
out. Shout out to the
Ascend.
Knights and to Mang Dags for that really awesome edit. And the end poster was really nice. I think it is one of the Knights. Who is it? Who is it?
That was epic.
That
that
was
was epic.
epic.
I love how everyone had the YGG badge. Right? We had our badges in our group, but it was just Fallen, myself, and Bibs. So seeing everyone with the badge running around, that was cool.
I didn't even have mine. It doesn't show mine for some reason.
It showed you in the guild chat, so I saw it on my.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, on my.
On
chat
my
there.
screen, it was like just basic. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, okay. Maybe it takes time to populate, but that was awesome. I actually have one other leak before we wrap it up. If you've been keeping an eye on Champions Ascension's community, they've been doing like a countdown promo. Polygon Gaming's been doing it as well. Champions.io is actually doing a collaboration with Polygon in the coming days, so keep your eyes open. Something interesting's about to drop.
Nice. And make sure to follow YGG as well on our Twitter and on all our social media platforms to be updated on all the news. And also make sure to follow Noisias as well. Maybe he'll be dropping more leaks about the game itself. And I think that's about it for tonight. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us on Discord. Thank you so much among Dags, Abo, Angela, Beebs, Boring Chart, DJ Nami, Gelly, Giyu, Gohan, Labu, Lady, Nemesis, Nomad, Sudo, Sedano, Senpu, all the Knights. There's a lot of Knights there. And YG Carrot for joining us tonight. And this is just the start of an awesome week. We will be dropping a lot of maybe alphas or some leaks on all the other streams. So if you're interested on the game, maybe why not drop by on the other streams as well, right? So yeah, guys.
That's like a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. GG's everyone, and thank you so much. Good night, and see you guys on all our other shows. Good night. Peace out, guys. GG's.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
GG.
Who do we play?
Jeez, tournament.